All right, y'all. We got a room refresh. Our room got redesigned, so now it's a little less storage. And in the move, we had to pack up our whole life. And in the move, my samples got lost. Previously on Art Show Secrets. It's November, okay?
We're making projects, we're staying busy, we got a bunch of things going on.
I am getting ready for our mid-year show.
We did kind of like bleached t-shirts and mounting and framing some artwork.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. Antlers all the way. Anyway, okay. Hey y'all, I'm Jenn Russell and I am a high school art teacher in North Texas.
Hey y'all, I'm Sarah Krayaski, elementary art teacher in Wisconsin.
Welcome to the Art of Education University's Art Show Secrets,
where we tell you what it's like to really create an art show
from start to finish
and make your art show amazing.
It's December
and there is a lot to do. December gets really crazy and I don't know about you, but I got seasonal depression and it is hard to go home in the dark.
I am wrapping up our semester's worth of classes.
We are talking about creating mini art shows during the school year, using and utilizing your parent volunteers, and also about collaborating with other art clubs.
I am coming up with a new solution to my storage issue and starting to pick what I'm going to put into the art show from this semester's kids.
So make sure to like and subscribe so you can see what we are up to in the future upcoming months.
So come on.
So tonight after school, I'm gonna head over to the high school because a couple of the art club team members reached out to me and wanted to collaborate with the elementary school art club and the high school art club. So I'm gonna have a little meeting about how we can do a little bit more together and support each other during the art show in May. So I went over and discussed things like if they wanna have some stations that they are in charge of for the art show. For example, we're planning on doing face painting and having some of those donations go towards one of the programs here at our school as well as towards our art department. It's nice to have some older students that can help with things like face painting or something that's maybe a little bit more detailed. So the week before, when me and parent volunteers are putting up hundreds of pieces of artwork, they're also going to help us set up the show. The other thing that they were super excited about was actually helping out with the art club meeting. So I do have one parent volunteer that comes in for each art club, but I'm also gonna have some art club members from the high school come and kind of be like a leader, a guiding eye, a helpful kind of inspiration for what we're doing for art club. Not gonna lie though, when I was having a conversation with those friends at the high school level, it struck me as being very nice to have some older, more mature students talking with me because they were able to hold just a lovely conversation and even checked in with me about things I didn't even think about. And they brought up the idea of helping out to set up the art show. So they were like, Miss K, don't you have a lot of work to put in? I know you always like work really hard on getting stuff set up. So can we help the week before? And I was like almost in tears. I'm like, y'all, my 6-year-olds don't ask me that. So thank you so much for thinking like, what do you need? How can I help you? And I really loved that little like glimpse of help and understanding from some of those older students. So I'm really excited about that connection.
All right, y'all. I realized that I literally have 8 days to break down my classroom because then it's finals days. I have a set of kids from August to December, and then I have another set of kids until the end of the year. So in the middle of the year, I have to clean up my life and get ready to swap my students. However, we got a room refresh. Our room got redesigned, so now it's a little less storage. And in the move, my samples got lost. So I'm in the process of recollecting samples and restoring everything or finding a place to store everything because my normal storage spot got obliterated in our remodel refresh. So I have 8 days to make that all happen. Also, with that storage in mind, not only am I storing samples, but I'm also storing artwork for the art show because I'm not gonna see these kids again unless I take my next class. I have to beg all my kids for their artwork, hope that they leave me enough, and then find a place to store it and label all of it and take care of it. We're gonna do it, we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it. I used to have all of this wall full of storage and I used to go from top to bottom. That's where I would store all my artwork. Now I don't have them, so I have to come up with a whole different system. Okay, let's talk about my storage box. I'm very lucky that I work at a big school, so we get lots of big shipments and boxes, and so I just send kind of an email and ask if anybody has big boxes. We have storage here, but this is for our students for every day, and these are the piles of artwork that my students just kind of leave, and then I'll sort through that and save some samples and what I feel will be good for the show, and then I'll send them an invite to the show, like, hey, your stuff got put in the show. To store all that stuff, I just use a regular box, and I use the flaps of the box to make my dividers. So there's this compartment, then there's this one that I will use for my other class, and then there's this for canvases and matted work. This is my storage box. It's nothing fancy, and then I put it in my storage closet. Art room woes. I have to store all of this stuff today, and so I have my kids make piles. I just clip it all together and then put it in my storage box. This is a 12 by 18 white paper, and I just fold it in half, and this will make like a file for it. I will put all these in here. I will label this of what it is. I will clip one side of it, and then I will clip the other side. That's how I store them, and it'll go into my storage box. For pieces that are already matted or on a canvas, I just fold over, and then I will tape back here, and then I will put it into the storage box so that I know that these are already matted and more likely to be just hang ready or contest ready or art show ready or whatnot. They're ready to go.
All right, friends, so we are in that time period between Thanksgiving break and our winter break, and it is exhausting. So I have a little confession for you, is that I did a good old-fashioned paper chain countdown for how many days I've left until break, because it's important to celebrate the days that have gone by, but also the days that we have left before a little break. In my attempt to try to practice my positivity, each day that I tear off one of my paper chains, I'm just using it kind of as like a little journal and just writing down a couple positive things from the day that happened to help me stay present and notice the things that are going well, or even just like something simple or silly that happened. So today I'm literally gonna write sunshine because I saw the sun. I also gonna write that I had a helper and a parent helper come in and cut out a whole bunch of things for me that I needed done. So those two things were a positive part of my day. Okay, so let's talk mini art show. The mini art shows happen a couple times a year in collaboration with our music performances. So when parents and families and people come to visit the school for our concerts, we wanna make sure that we're really celebrating the things our students have been creating. So I always do a mini art show depending on the year. It might have a project from every student, it might just have a project from a few students. So this year I was able to display some 3rd grade nutcrackers and some kindergarten penguins and kind of just kept it simple at that. Other years I've had things like all over the cafeteria. So it's kind of a way to show off some artwork and at least get a few things on display, just like a little sneak peek into what could be potentially coming up at the end of the year at our big, huge art show. Just a friendly reminder for you that Flex Curriculum is a super awesome place to start when you're presenting artwork or when you're trying to figure out what you want to do to create a standards aligned curriculum. So there's lots of lesson plans in there. There's pictures, there's images, there's step-by-step instructions, student-facing handouts, videos, like a whole bunch of stuff. So this resource, you could use it to help your students kind of pick what they might like to select for the art show as you kind of think ahead for planning and choosing artwork that could be on display for your show. So this resource is called My Art Show Masterpiece. Not a mini masterpiece, but it kind of is a mini masterpiece. Draw a quick picture, maybe use it to do kind of like some planning as you're trying to figure out what students want to have on display, and then help them kind of figure out some reasoning. So this is pretty elementary appropriate, like why did you select it? So this is like a quick thumbnail version of how you could use some brainstorming with your students to help them select a piece for the show. And of course, if you're not a Flex user, that's okay. Just head on over to our website and we will link in the description box below for how you could get Flex for your district.
I know it can be hard to get entries for your show or even just to get kids to turn in. They kind of get a little shy about their work. If you're looking for a tip to maybe garner interest or have a pool or a source to choose entries from, one of my tips is using, if you have an art club or an AP studio class, National Art Honor Society, if you do that on your campus, is also a great resource. I go talk to those kids and I let them know, hey, here's our show, this is our date. Our date changed recently, but this is our date. So that gives them a great goal, kind of sort of like a finish line for us right before they submit their portfolio. So that is a trick I keep up my sleeve. I highly suggest that you participate in the end of the year art show, okay? People want to see what you've been doing, and I think that your work deserves to be shown. all of your pieces at some point should be displayed. So think about it that way, that you have to somehow display your stuff, whether it's on a trifold, whether it's on a table. Right now, tentative date, May 16th. But I'm getting told that it's gonna change because all the senior stuff is now on that day. So just heads up for the new date, be on the lookout for that. And it's gonna be at the library, and we're gonna have a night. So your parents can come. Do y'all have questions, comments, and or concerns? All right, so start keeping all of your stuff, please, if you haven't been already doing so. Keep all of that, start stacking, start storing. Let's keep all that together, okay? Yay! A great way to get started with presenting artwork is Flex Curriculum. So the one that I'm using for the last couple of days of December as we wrap up class is this formative feedback rubric. As a class, we did this together. We made our own criteria, and then they kind of graded themselves on how they grew as an artist. And then I also had a team member do it for them as well, so they got some other feedback, which was really cool.
Shauna, please call 2802. Shauna, 2802.
If you are not a Flex member, make sure that you check out the description box below so that you can see how to become one.
Y'all, one more day! Making progress. Okay, today's highlights is that my table team's jobs are helping. And again, sunshine! I can't tell you how much that changes the way I feel. I do not know what I would do without my parent volunteers. I have had many throughout the years, and they've all been super helpful and amazing. At back to school night, usually I'll reach out or post something if there are any parents that are interested in helping out in the classroom, and then they just need to fill out a background check and they're welcome to come and volunteer in the classroom. I can send them to do things like hanging artwork, refilling art supplies, doing kind of like paper cutting, or things that are like the medial tasks that I need a little bit of extra help with. I actually always keep a running to-do list of things that are options for my parent volunteers to do. So if I'm ever kind of stuck or they come in, I can refer to this. So my parent volunteer did this today, and like refilling glue bottles. Probably took her, I don't know, 40 minutes of my prep time that I don't need to do. A lot of us feel like we can't ask for help because it is going to burden somebody else. The worst that can happen is somebody will say, no, I don't have the time or energy, and you're in the same spot as you were before. If you ask for help, you're giving a person a chance to get those endorphins and actually give a gift to you. Many of the people that come and volunteer in my classroom call it therapy, which is strange to me, but like just giving them a chance to be outside of their home, to be able to kind of chat with another adult, to be able to like hear the energy of the classroom, really gives them a positive feeling. So even like as my volunteer left today, she was like, thanks for being my therapist. And I was like, yep, just being myself. So it's kind of a cool way to celebrate the fact that we can build connections with other adults, especially since teaching can be kind of like you're in your own bubble with your students. If you are intrigued by the idea of using parent or guardian volunteers, then you can check out my day in the life videos. I have 2 of them so that you can see what it's like to be in my classroom for a day.
Welcome back to my crazy corner. Y'all, December is 9.5 days long. Y'all, look at how clean this is. I mean, minus a little whatever. Sign of the end of times, or end of semester really, but tomato potato.
Friends, the countdown worked. We made it to break. Now is a little time for a little bit of rest and relaxation, time with friends and family, and just enjoying life. So have a good holiday vacay.
Okay, so that wraps up the month of December.
I would love to hear if you're feeling a little this, or if you're feeling a little this, or maybe somewhere in between.
Do you have semester-long classes? If so, how do you pick your artwork for your students? Do you save some for samples or for contests or art shows? And how do you store that?
Comment below so we can stay up to date with what you do to make your year amazing.
Can't wait to hear our art show secrets for January.
Make sure you're subscribed so you can check out next month's episode
where we talk about getting your AP kids to showcase their portfolio at the art show, how to make an all-inclusive poster that is representative of your art program, and getting your district administrators and communications to your art show. In the next episode of Art Show Secrets.
Okay, I also want to tell y'all, I've been feeling a little under the weather and a little bit just like low energy these last couple weeks.
It's the beginning of January and I have been sick for the most of it.